Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I will recap the first season of the anime titled Spy X Family. The story starts in a world of spies and assassins where the two countries of Ostania and Westeros are on the brink of war, and it's only the spy organization Wise that's preventing any escalation. With the recent assassination of a Westeros diplomat, Wise decides it is time to send their best agent, Twilight, a man of 100 faces, regarded as the best spy in the world. He receives instructions for his next mission, Operation Strix, that is to get close to Donovan Desmond, the leader of the National Unity Party. But to do so, he would have to get himself a wife and child, because Desmond only appears publicly at the parents' gathering of Eden Academy. This shocks him, but still, he accepts the mission. He takes a family apartment in the city and takes on the name Lloyd Forger, a psychiatrist. In order to get a child, Lloyd goes to an underground orphanage where he meets and adopts Enya, a girl that was able to read the minds of people, but Lloyd has no idea. After a day with Enya, Lloyd comes to a realization that parenting is not easy. The next day, Lloyd forcefully leaves Enya at home, but she ends up messing with Lloyd's instruments, which leads to her being kidnapped by his enemies. When Lloyd reaches home, he quickly goes after the kidnapper. He does his spy things and easily saves Enya, making the two closer to each other. Enya later takes the entrance exam for Eden Academy and luckily manages to pass somehow. Elsewhere at the city hall, Yor Breyer is being ridiculed by her friends for being 27 and single. That day, Yor accepts an invitation to a party from his brother and tells him that she'll come with his boyfriend in order to not make him worry. But that is not her only secret, when it is revealed that she is an infamous assassin, the Thorn Princess. Meanwhile, Lloyd and his accomplice Frankie are going through the files of all the single women in the city. Unable to select one, Lloyd takes Enya to the tailor where they meet Yor. After an exchange and an assist from Enya, they come to the conclusion that Lloyd helps Yor with the party and Yor helps Lloyd with the school interview. But Lloyd gets a spy mission the day of the party and cannot make it in time. Yor attends the party, but her friend berates her for coming alone. Just as she's about to leave, Lloyd arrives and accidentally introduces himself as her husband. But the two play it off and Yor is saved. Later, Yor and Lloyd are being chased by the goons from Lloyd's mission, but the two manage to take them out and Lloyd proposes to her with a grenade ring to be his wife. Yor moves into Lloyd's apartment the next day and Enya shows her around the house. After having tea, Lloyd decides that it's time to prepare for the interview for Eden Academy. But after a few questions, he realizes that his family is hopeless. Frustrated, Lloyd suggests they go for an outing and learn what's normal for a family. Lloyd takes them to the art museum, restaurant, tailor, and even a political rally, but he is unable to get them to act like a normal family. Later that day, Yor spots a thief snatching a purse from an old lady, and with Anya's assistance, Lloyd manages to apprehend the thief. They return the purse to the old lady, who calls them a normal, happy family. At home, Lloyd attempts another mock interview and happily feels like 1% of his work is done. After rigorous practice, the day of the interview finally arrives and the Forger family enters Eden Academy, a prestigious school where the children of rich people study. Soon, Lloyd notices that they are being watched. The test has already begun and a group of teachers under Henry Henderson, the school's headmaster, are observing the families and eliminating them. Henry, a man looking for elegance, notices the Forgers paying respect to Eden's founder's statue and is flabbergasted at the Forgers' elegance. Henry pays extra attention to the Forgers to discover their weakness, but even with traps, the Forgers easily and elegantly overcome them. Later, the actual interview starts, but it doesn't go as Lloyd had expected. One of the interviewers, Swan, begins to berate Yor for not being able to cook. Lloyd, the man who always puts his mission first, loses his cool and slams the desk in half, leaving the interview. Later, Henry punches Swan for disgracing Eden. At home, Lloyd is devastated, but Yor and Enya help Lloyd believe that they can succeed. Soon the day of the result arrives, and the Forgers are devastated to learn that Anya's name is not on the list. But Henry tells the Forgers that Enya is at the top of the waiting list. After 3 days of stress and prayers, they find out that Enya got into the school. Frankie joins the Forgers to celebrate, and they all agree to reward Enya for working so hard. But Enya, who loves the show Spy Wars, asks to go to the castle where one of the episodes was shot. Lloyd accepts her daughter's wish and takes her to the castle. To make her happy, Lloyd asks Wise to send all their agents. He goes along with all of Enya's wishes for the day and acts like the main character of the show who saves Enya. After the plague, Enya thanks Lloyd, making him smile and congratulating her on passing the entrance exam. The next day, Enya's uniform is finished, and Lloyd has to go to a Wise meeting, so he has Yor pick up the uniform. At the meeting, a Wise spy handler named Sylvia tells him that Enya will have to receive 8 Stella stars and become an Imperial scholar in order for him to complete Operation Strix. Meanwhile, When Yor's picking up Anya's uniform, some thugs try to kidnap Anya, but Yor beats them up. The day of the Eden entrance ceremony arrives, and the students are assigned to their classes. Lloyd is thinking of having Anya get close to Damien Desmond, the second son of his target, but Anya doesn't seem to like him. Later, Damien insults Anya's new friend Becky, and she loses her cool and punches Desmond. For this, Henry gives her a tonitrus bolt. 8 of these would get her expelled, and the forgers are devastated to learn that. The next day, Lloyd instructs Anya to apologize to Damien. At school, she is joined by Becky and doesn't get a chance to apologize. Lloyd, disguised as a worker at school, manages to separate Becky from Anya. And Anya finally apologizes to Damien with a cubist crying face. Damien blushes and runs away, making the forgers think that he got even angrier. At home, Lloyd helps Anya study, but she is overwhelmed and runs to her room stating she doesn't want to study. Yor convinces Lloyd that he is doing a great job with Anya. Later, Lloyd goes to check up on his daughter, but she falls asleep while trying to study on her own. Elsewhere, we see Yor's brother, Yuri Breyer, who is shocked to learn that his sister is married. Lloyd is informed that the secret police is conducting spy hunts, so he needs to be cautious. At the city hall, Yor realizes that she still hasn't told her brother about her marriage for a year. It's revealed that Yuri belongs to the secret police and is interrogating a person. At home, Yor informs Lloyd that Yuri will be visiting, and Lloyd starts preparing the house so that they look like a lovely couple. Upon arriving, Yuri asks Yor why she hasn't told him about the marriage, and she replies that she forgot. Yuri accepts the reason but doesn't accept their marriage. During the conversation, Lloyd deduces that Yuri is with the secret police. Frustrated and jealous of Lloyd, Yuri gets drunk and asks the couple to kiss to prove that they are married. Yor takes a huge gulp of wine and leans to kiss Lloyd, but in embarrassment, swings her hand, slapping her brother. Yuri concedes defeat and leaves the couple, saying that he'll come again to expose Lloyd. The next day, Anya is sad to learn that she couldn't meet her uncle, who is actually in secret police. Yor and Lloyd seem distant from last night's exchange, and Anya tells them to get along. Frustratingly, Lloyd puts a bug on Yor and listens to what she says during the day in order to clear his suspicions of her working with Yuri. He even puts a disguise along with Frankie and interrogates her. But her resilience clears Lloyd's doubt. Later that day, Lloyd meets up with Yor and removes the bug, and then the two have a hearty conversation. At home, Anya is happy to see the two get along. At school, a rumor spreads amongst first graders saying that they will be rewarded as Stella for performing well in sports. Anya and Damien are determined to get a Stella, so Anya trains with Yor at park. Thus begins the dodgeball match. Anya and her classmates are determined to win, but they are faced with the giant Bill Watkins, who quickly eliminates most of the students. With only Anya and Damien left, he tries to go after Anya, but telepath Anya dodges his every shot. Anya suddenly falls, and Billy throws the ball with full power. Damien, against his will, gets in the way, saving Anya. Seeing that, Anya tries to use the secret move she learned from Yor and throws the ball with all her might but fails, and Billy eliminates her. Billy is excited to win a Stella, but Henry says there is no Stella being awarded as it was just a rumor. Later, Lloyd realizes that it's impossible for Anya to get Stella through studying, so he makes her try other things like drawing, music, and sports, but all it bears no fruit. Later, he decides to earn Stella through community service at a hospital, but Anya seems to mess up everything she does, and soon they are kicked out. On their way out, Anya telepathically notices a kid drowning and jumps into the pool to save him. Noticing Anya drowning, Lloyd saves the kids, and Anya wins a Stella for saving a life. The next day, Anya attends school confidently. Becky gives her the idea to ask for a dog from her parents as a present for getting a Stella. The scene shifts to a pet shelter where one of the dogs sees a vision of the Forger family. Lloyd, burdened with one mission after another, comes home exhausted daily. On his way, he hears his neighbors gossiping that he's neglecting his family. For the sake of Operation Strix, he decides to take his family to the aquarium and show everyone that they get along. However, on his way to the aquarium, he is assigned another mission to stop the retrieval of a penguin with secret information. At the aquarium, Lloyd has a hard time guessing the right penguin, but with an assist from Anya, he recognizes it. Lloyd disguises himself as a worker and quickly gets his hand on the penguin, but he's stopped by a man on the way who tries to shoot him. Lloyd dodges and the man starts running. Anya helps Lloyd by running away and making Yor catch the man. Afterward, Lloyd wins a penguin plushie for Anya as a gift. At home, Anya tries to enter Lloyd's room while playing, but Lloyd, knowing it's dangerous, yells at her. In order to make her happy, Lloyd and Yor decide to play with Anya. She takes them outside to play a spy game, with big toys covering their blushing faces. While acquiring a pet dog for Anya, Lloyd is abruptly summoned for an urgent mission involving the prevention of a terrorist faction consisting of Ostanian students led by Keith Kepler. The spy organization he works for captured a terrorist. The boy is unwilling to reveal anything until he sees that the leader of the terrorists is also captured, who keeps blaming all the crimes on the boy. The boy thinks he is betrayed, so he volunteers to tell the base of the terrorist organization and an important information that the terrorists trained some dogs to complete the attack for them. But the boy doesn't realize that the leader is disguised by Lloyd, whose goal is to drive a wedge between the boy and his organization. Meanwhile, two terrorists are walking with dogs. One of the dogs, a white dog, suddenly rushes out and bites a kid's clothes. Soon a billboard falls in front of the kid. It turns out that the white dog has experienced secret experiments and it can predict future now. After saving the kid, it meets Anya, and it predicts that it will become a member of Anya's family. Anya reads the white dog's mind curiously, following it to a warehouse. Meanwhile, Yuri is choosing the pet dog. When she finds Anya missing, she quickly jumps to the ceiling to scan the whole hall but still doesn't find Anya. She saw the news before that there are perverts who specialize in kidnapping girls and selling them to remote places as brides. She fears that Anya was kidnapped and feels so anxious. In the warehouse, Anya overhears the terrorists discussing the plan about using the dogs to attack. Not long after, she is captured by one of the terrorists. To avoid exposing the plan, the leader of the terrorists decides to kill Anya. At this moment, the white dog chews through the rope and rushes out, intending to protect Anya. But when a terrorist takes out a steel rod, the white dog is too scared to resist. At the critical moment, a phone call attracts all terrorists' attention, saying that the spy organization has found out their base and they have to leave as soon as possible. The white dog seems to have predicted the phone call so long ago, taking Anya to escape from the warehouse when the terrorists don't pay attention to them. By reading the white dog's mind, Anya knows it also has superpower just like her. So she commands the white dog to run to Yuri, and she asks for help from the passers-by at the same time. But they all think Anya is playing a game and don't offer help. Because the white dog is too old, the terrorists quickly catch up with them. Soon the white dog and Anya are in danger. Luckily, Yuri hears Anya's shouting for help and follows it. Finally, she finds them. She shows her expertise as a killer, kicking a terrorist away and finally saving Anya. Keith seizes the last bomb-carrying dog and sets up an explosive trap on the door of his final hideout. With the aid of the dog's foresight, Anya becomes aware that Lloyd's life is in grave danger. Evading Yuri's pursuit, they reach the location of the impending explosion and avert the catastrophe by leaving a warning message. Following this, Lloyd adopts a guise resembling Minister Brandt's and skillfully eludes the secret police by car, cunningly leading Keith toward the river. In the course of the pursuit, Keith unleashes the bomb-carrying dog after Lloyd, marking the onset of their intense showdown. Lloyd successfully secures the bomb-carrying dog within a dumpster, disposing of the explosive device into the river, rendering it harmless. Keith makes his escape, but his getaway is cut short when Yuri intercepts him, causing his car to crash. As the terrorism threat is averted, Lloyd reunites with his family, and together they decide to adopt the genetically modified white dog with Sylvia's blessing. The following day, Anya's effort to impress Damien with her new pet falls short. However, upon noticing the striking resemblance between the dog's appearance with her beloved fictional hero, Bond Man, Anya names the newest member of the Forger family, Bond Forger. Concerned about the possibility of losing her family, Yuri turns to her co-worker, Camilla, for assistance in enhancing her culinary skills. Under her guidance, she revisits her childhood recipes, particularly a stew, which she later makes for her family. Frankie later approaches Lloyd for help as he has fallen in love with a woman, but she rejects him. Lloyd offers consolation and his perspective at the bar, emphasizing the constraints their line of work imposes on personal relationships. Anya's attempt to build a connection with Damien through their dog bond falls short. In an effort to win his approval and support his ambitions, she joins him in an arts and crafts contest despite her artistic challenges. Unexpectedly, Damien's sculpture ends up securing the first prize, leaving Anya both surprised and baffled. We then focus on Sylvia and her daily routine, who operates as a spy as she skillfully eludes the surveillance of the police. Her rendezvous with Lloyd is a critical part of their strategy to deliberate on Operation Strix. Later, Anya discovers that her midterm exams coincide with the new moon, rendering her telepathy useless and preventing her from cheating. Yuri extends an invitation to Yuri to tutor her, though their efforts yield little progress. Nonetheless, this motivates Anya to study diligently, driven by her desire to assist Lloyd in his missions. Concerned about Anya's exam outcomes, Lloyd covertly infiltrates the school's vault in an attempt to modify her answers. During his operation, he crosses paths with Daybreak, an aspiring spy endeavoring to manipulate the Desmond brothers' papers. In a discreet manner, Lloyd reverses Daybreak's interference and discovers that Anya has barely managed to pass the exam without his intervention. Afterward, Anya thwarts George Glooman's scheme to have Damien expelled as payback for causing his family's business to go bankrupt. By earning the compassion of his peers, they bid him a heartfelt farewell. During the night, George discovers that his family's enterprise is not going under, and he returns to school the following day, somewhat embarrassed. Once Anya is off to school, Yor's frantic search for her misplaced gym clothes leads her to the school, only to discover that there's no gym class scheduled for the day. Encountering Lloyd, he extends an invitation for lunch to lift her spirits. Anya joins Lloyd to explore his assumed profession as a psychiatrist for a school report on her chosen career. During Lloyd's absence, she ventures into his concealed escape tunnel in his office, inadvertently startling the other physicians. Later in her class presentation, Anya unintentionally portrays Lloyd's work negatively, providing a misleading image of his profession. After watching an episode of Spy Wars, Anya devises a clandestine code instructing whoever cracks it to rendezvous at a bridge at 0800 on Saturday. Sharing it with all of her friends, Frankie, misunderstanding it as a covert love letter, arrives at the bridge only to find Anya sleeping through her alarm. Nightfall, a wise agent named Fiona Frost, operating under an alias, pays a visit to the forgers. Fiona delivers the news that they will be collaborating on their upcoming mission. Her initial intention is to replace Yor, driven by her secret affection for Lloyd. However, upon recognizing Lloyd's genuine happiness with Yor and Anya, she leaves their home disheartened. Bond grows envious of Anya's plush penguin and damages it, leaving her saddened. Lloyd takes the initiative to mend it and persuades Anya to reconcile with Bond. To retrieve a painting revealing sensitive information which could potentially spark a conflict, Lloyd and Fiona assume the roles of a married couple and engage in an underground tennis tournament hosted by Cavi Campbell. Fiona aims to prove her capabilities and replace Yor in Operation Strix, leading to their victories throughout the competition. As they progress to the finals against Campbell's children, it becomes evident that Campbell has rigged the tournament in the children's favor. While Yor grows increasingly concerned about Lloyd's relationship with Fiona, Lloyd and Fiona successfully navigate through the numerous cheating attempts made by the Campbells, ultimately securing a victory in the tournament. Subsequently, they employ a clever strategy to switch and secure the targeted painting before the arrival of the police. Coincidentally, they encounter Yor, Anya, and Bond at the park, where Fiona challenges Yor to a tennis match. Despite Fiona's efforts, Yor's extraordinary strength allows her to overwhelm her. However, this event leaves Yor feeling unhappy and unsettled. A week later, Lloyd receives baffling news that the painting was simply a misunderstanding. Yor's concerns about Fiona replacing her lead to rumors and concerns, prompting Lloyd to arrange a date to address the matter. The date takes an unexpected turn when Lloyd, attempting to seduce a tipsy Yor, gets knocked out in her panic. Later, they have a heartfelt conversation where Lloyd provides reassurance to Yor about their marriage, emphasizing that he has no intention of replacing her. Becky accompanies Anya to an upscale high-end shopping mall in the hopes of catching Damien's eye. While Becky indulges in an extravagant shopping spree, Anya opts for a simple yet meaningful purchase, acquiring a matching set of keychains. In a heartwarming gesture, she offers one of the keychains to Becky, signifying the special day they shared, which brings immense joy to her friend. Martha, Becky's butler, is pleased to witness the transformation of her once arrogant and unsociable ward, recognizing the newfound friendship blossoming between Becky and Anya. On the day of the Imperial Scholars' social gathering at Eden Academy, Lloyd covertly enters the school, aware that Donovan Desmond will be present and that Damien plans to meet his father afterward. Seizing the opportunity to gather information, Heath tries to establish contact with Donovan, even though the endeavor doesn't yield substantial results. Nevertheless, during this encounter, Lloyd manages to gain some insight into Donovan's thoughts and makes a positive impression by advocating for Damien's emotions. Following Lloyd's departure, Damien finally has a brief conversation with his father, Donovan, who, to Damien's surprise, offers praise for his academic achievements. And that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more.